You're welcome. You're all welcome. You are all welcome wherever you are. I welcome you to our live broadcast once again. Wherever you are welcome. We are live and we are directed by the special grace of God. Permit me to say good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you. It all depends on your time zone. I welcome you once again today. Today is the 18th day of the month of March 2023. I am Pastor Maxwell over here. I want you to share the broadcast, like the broadcast, retweet the broadcast, anywhere you are watching from, anywhere you're joining us from. So long as you can see this broadcast, I want you to share the broadcast. Election prophecies fulfilled, part 2. 8 years journey to the land of Moab, part 4. Election prophecies fulfilled. This is the part 2 of it. And of course, 8 years journey to the land of Moab that Nigerians embarked upon. This is the part 4 of it. We can never be tired of saying the truth. We can never give up saying the truth. John chapter 8 verse 32, you shall know the truth and the truth shall make you free. We are here to speak the truth and to make our people free, our generation free from all manner of entanglement and deceptions and falsehood. How do you reach out to them? It is by sharing this broadcast. Wherever you are, share the broadcast. Pray. Let us pray. Father, in the name of Jesus Christ of Nazareth, we thank you for the privilege of coming to this platform of prayer from where you have reached out to the world and to your people, more especially Biafrans in critical times like this. You have always communicated to them your will, your purpose, your mind, your position, your counsel regarding their welfare, regarding your overall interest and purpose for their lives and survival. Lord, once again today, you're going to bring to their remembrance all the things you've said in time past, that they may also understand that you have not left them destitute of your voice and your divine direction and instructions. Heavenly Father, we pray, as always, this platform is dedicated to you, that once again today, all that will proceed from this very platform today will be to your glory, will be to your honor. And I pray that you give your people listening ear, guide them that they may obey and find themselves on the path of truth and never to turn back from following the truth. Thank you, Father. In the name of Yeshua we pray. Amen. I want you to share this broadcast. Share the broadcast. broadcast. Share the broadcast immediately. I am going to, without any hesitation, bring to you some of the prophetic declarations I made, prophetic statements I made, instructions that God gave to Biafrans and Nigerians, more especially Biafrans, specifically Biafrans, regarding the concluded presidential and national assembly elections and the ongoing gubernatorial and state houses of assembly elections today, the 18th day of the month of March 2023. I kept speaking all the way from the year 2022, the month of June. I spoke very clearly on the 26th day of the month of June 2022 and the 3rd day of the month of July 2022, telling them the mind of God, the will of God regarding the election. Before ever the campaign started, before ever some other ministers of the gospel began to give their own prophecies in favor of their preferred candidates, the voice of the Lord was very clear from this platform, speaking on time, leaving Biafrans with no confusion, putting them in the best position to make the best decisions, which is to stand very tall and very firm on their convictions in solidarity with Nnamdi Kanu as the best option for their well-being, rather than Mr. P2B as an alternative to the restoration of Biafra and the release of Nnamdi Kanu. But of course, most of them decided to throw caution into the winds. Most of them decided to pay deaf ear. And today, many of them have destroyed their PVC after the presidential election didn't favor Mr. P2B. And of course, Mr. P2B said that he's not going to contest against, he's not going to challenge the outcome. I'm going to bring that very clip to you and play it before Biafrans, that they may watch and hear from him. He said that he is going to challenge the process, but he's not going to challenge the outcome of the presidential election. That is Mr. P2B, that all of them trooped out en masse to support, to give their votes, to vote their consciences, to perform their civic responsibility, which is to vote. And the chicken had come home to roost. Mr. P2B decided to say very publicly on our Rights television that he is not going to challenge the outcome of the presidential election. Rather, he is going to challenge the process. In other words, he has conceded defeat. And today there is voters' apathy. Many people refuse to come out to vote today because they were highly disenfranchised. They were highly discouraged, disappointed by the umpire, the Electoral Commission, the chairman of the INEC, the presidential election. Many today refuse to come out to vote, which was exactly what they were supposed to from the onset, which was exactly what we asked them to do. There is no better alternative to Biafra restoration and Nnamdi Kanu. I told them that Mr. P2B was a distraction. He was a distraction that was well packaged and brought to you to confuse you that you may abandon Nnamdi Kanu in the DSS dungeon in Abuja, Nigeria, and by so doing delay the restoration of Biafra. Today, Mr. P2B has said that he is not going to challenge the outcome of the presidential election, that he is only going to challenge the process. What sense does that make? What sense does it make? Share the broadcast, very important. the trust that the international community has in the process of what we're doing. If you are not against the election, lost, they will never that he lost the narrative, because they control never. Anything you'll be saying from your own end, they will say, oh, it's because they're lost. I want you to pay attention very clearly. I want you to pay attention. What I told them, that they refused to listen, to pay attention. This was prior to the presidential election. I've told you this before. I've shared it before in my broadcast. I don't want to go in details because of time. And I resigned anything politics, at least as a pastor, so that I will pray for them. I want you to pay attention.
Amen.
And all the benefit they were supposed to give to me, they will never that he lost the narrative, because now listen very carefully. Listen. The political analysts, they will tell you that the Nigerians didn't have trust in P2-B. That's why they didn't vote him in. But they will never tell you that the election was rigged. This analysis that P2-B, listen very carefully. I was telling, this was during our Saturday prayers with Biafran women, and I told you how the election will go. Listen very carefully. They come out in the first place to vote. Why did they come out in the first place? It's because they're lost. That's why they are now making noise again. They are no longer obedient. Now they are making noise because they're lost. And they will tell you, the political analysts, they will tell you that the Nigerians didn't have trust in P2-B. That's why they didn't vote him in. But they will never tell you that the election was rigged. This analysis that P2-B, they will never say it, that the election was rigged. They will be shouting that we lost. They will never. This was what I told Biafrans. This was exactly what I told Biafrans. This was what I told them, how the election will go. I made them to understand it about 1 month ago. You can see it from the screen there. It's about 1 month ago. Are you seeing it? Streamed live, January 21st, 2023. Are you seeing it? On January 21st, 2023, I told you that they are going to rig P2-B out. That's what I told you. That was what I told Biafrans, that they are going to rig him out. And they will not tell you that he was rigged out. They will tell you that Nigerians didn't have confidence in him. That's why they didn't vote for him. I was very, very clear. I was very, very categorical. I made it very clear that Mr. P2-B will be rigged out. Look at it on the screen there. On the 21st of January 2023. Very, very clear. It was very, what I said was categorical. It was not suggestive. It was not under probability. No. Very, very clear. I made it abundantly clear. And they heard it. 21st of January 2023. Today, have they not rigged him out? Have they not rigged him out? Listen. Protest for Biafra, to begin to raise flags again, to begin. You may never be able to see it again, to buy it again. Truth is very scarce.
all of a sudden, I received the baptism of the baptism of Biafra.
Wherever you are, I want you to share this
and
broadcast.
all the
I
benefits they
want
were
you to
supposed to
share
give to me, all the entitlement
this
they were supposed to
broadcast. Share the
give to me,
broadcast wherever you are, anywhere you are.
abandoned all of them.
It's
And I'm not,
important to
it
share
didn't even
broadcast.
move me till
Share
today.
it very, very widely.
What I'm trying to
Share
say
this
is
very broadcast. Share it.
we should buy the truth and sell it not. Because if you sell it, you may never be able to see it again to buy it again. Truth is very scarce. If any Igbo man, just as our sister Adako said, queue that very day to go and vote, and after that very exercise, the result is called, and Pt2-8 was declared or is declared the loser.
Listen very attentively. Don't miss this prophecy. Don't miss it. Don't be distracted. At this point in time, on this platform is the best place to be. There is no alternative place. There is no better place to be other than as at now. No better place to be apart from here. Listen very attentively. How I told them that Sean will go. Just pay a very close attention.
If you sell it, you may never be able to see it again to buy it again. Truth is very scarce. If any Igbo man,
listen,
just as our sister Adako said, queue that very day to go and vote.
Yes, as they queued on the 25th of February, they queued to go and vote. This was a message I delivered on the 21st of January 2023. 21st of January. I'm going to bring it up again. You may see the date. Look at the date. Look at it. This is the date. This was during our Saturday prayers with the IPO women, Biafran women, on Saturday, the 21st of January 2023. Pay attention.
And after that very exercise, the result is called, and Pt2-8 was declared or is declared the loser.
As he has been declared the loser. He has been declared the loser. He lost. He was rigged out. And I said it when I was making the analysis during our after prayer program, that he will be rigged. They won't give it to him, even if he win by a popular vote. Even if the whole Nigerians vote for Pt2-8, they will not give it to him. So why would you engage in an exercise? Why would you engage in an exercise that you know that the outcome of it will be a waste of time? Why would you? They were forewarned.
And Biafrans goes back again to begin to protest for Biafra, to begin to raise flags again, to begin to sing holy, 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 Nnamdi Kanu is another savior, and begin to, go back to the trench again. They will say, look at the foolish people. Why did they come out in the first place to support Pt2-8? Why did they come out in the first place?
That is what they will say. That is what they are going to say. Now that Pt2-8 lost, now that they rigged him out, if you come out again and begin to talk about, if you come out again and begin to talk of IPOB, if you come out again and begin to protest and agitate, they will say, oh, it's because Pt2-8 lost. That's why they are protesting. I told them the best approach is to abstain. Don't come out to vote for anybody. Remain where you are on your position, standing very firmly on your conviction of Biafra restoration and release of Nnamdi Kanu, not Pt2-8. Stop switching choices. You switch from one choice to another, from one decision to another. It makes you untrustworthy before the eyes of the international community. I told them, I warned them. Be stable, be disciplined, exhibit the character and the virtue of integrity. Demonstrate it before the world that you know exactly what you want, what you're looking for. You are not looking for an alternative. You are not looking for democracy. You are not looking for equality. You are not looking for regional autonomy. You are not looking for Igbo presidency. You are looking for Biafra. Stand your ground. Make a very clear statement at the poll that they may understand that Biafrans abstained completely and totally from the election. That they will begin to take you more seriously. They came out and they voted. Our civic responsibility. When they look at the crowd that we are following Pt2-8, they thought that he has won, that as soon as he wins, they will declare him the winner, and then he will become the next president of Nigeria. And I told them they don't understand the Nigerian political paradigm. They didn't know it. They were carried away by the crowd, by the cheering, by the pageantry, by the carnival and all the event that surrounded the campaign of Mr. Pt2-8. They were carried away.
Place to vote. Why did they come out in the first place? It's because they're lost. That's why they are now making noise again. They are no longer obedient. Now they are making noise because they're lost. And they will tell you, the political analyst, they will tell you that the Nigerians didn't have trust in Pt2-8. That's why they didn't vote him in. But they will never tell you that the election was rigged.
As I told you on the 21st of January 2023, I told you that the political analysts, they will never tell you that the election was rigged. They will never tell you that Pt2-8 was rigged out. I told you that they would tell you that he didn't win, he lost. That's what they've been saying, that Pt2-8 lost. Pt2-8 lost. Which of the political analysts or the television anchor of programs or presenters that will tell you that the election was rigged? Which of them has ever opened their mouth to tell you that Mr. Pt2-8 was rigged out? They can't say it. They cannot say it. All they have been saying is that Pt2-8 lost, Pt2-8 lost. And the chairman of INEC told you to go to court. That's what I told you on the 21st of January 2023.
They will never say to begin to sing holy, 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 Nnamdi Kanu is another savior, and begin to, go back to the trench again. They will say, look at the foolish people. Why did they come out in the first place to support people? Why did they come out in the first place to vote? Why?
Some of them now have come back to Radio Biafra platforms, and they are now shouting again. They have changed those pseudo names that they used. They have changed all the pseudo names that they used to campaign for me. All those alliances that they used on Facebook, all those fake accounts, all those fake names that they used to campaign for Pt2-8. They changed their names overnight. The same people that call themselves freedom fighters, all of a sudden, they became the campaigners for the election of Pt2-8. They became the supporters. They became obedient overnight, using fake accounts to collect money. Even IPOB principal officers, even high-ranking, I said, even high-ranking IPOB principal officers, they were effectively and actively campaigning for Pt2-8. They were campaigning for him. They opened fake accounts. They changed some of the names on their, some of them have multiple accounts. Some of them have up to 10 accounts. Some have 7 accounts. They changed all their names on their 5 different accounts, and they were campaigning for Pt2-8. They were paid. I am talking about high-ranking IPOB principal officers. They were obedient, both home and abroad. Money was exchanging hands. Money, fraud money, election money, corrupt money. They abandoned Nnamdi Kanu. They never talked about him. They never thought. No, all their focus and attention was on Pt2-8 election. Pt2-8 election. Had it been that Mr. Pt2-8 was declared the winner, most of them would have been looking for a way to align themselves or position themselves in order to collect political appointments. I am telling you, they would have come out openly and tell you that there is nothing like Biafra anymore. They would have said it. They would have done it. You know, just like thieves in the night, they hid under different aliases, under different pseudonyms, fake accounts. They were making their money. They were making their money. And when they come out with their real account, they will be talking about IPOB, they will be talking about Nnamdi, they will be talking about Nigeria is a zoo, they will be talking about sabotage and the betrayers and sellout, they will be talking about infiltrators. After they do that very shift, you know, easy shift, they will come and do shift for Biafra. After doing shift for Biafra and IPOB and Nnamdi, they will go back and they will do shift for Mr. Pt2-8 an election. Higher ranking IPOB principal officers. Many pastors, many of them, they were prophesying, praying for Pt2-8. Pt2-8 was moving from one church to another, from one denomination to another. They were all prophesying. They were all, you know why they were prophesying? It was not prophecy. They were speaking out of their, you know, their understanding or the information or the apparent large crowd that Mr. Pt2-8 was pulling during the time of the campaign. So when those fake pastors, when they look at the crowd, they say, yeah, Pt2-8 has won. So they now forged it as a prophecy. They began to package it as prophecy. They were prophesying from the crowd. They were prophesying from the noise, not from the voice of God. They were prophesying from the movement, the obedient movement, not from the Spirit of God. When they look at the crowd, they watch the crowd on the screen, on the television, they watch the crowd on the social media, they watch the crowd. Some of them even in their different locations, their states and the cities where the churches are situated. When they witness the turnout, the mammoth crowd that were following Mr. Pt2-8, they will say, he has won. And they will not package it as a prophecy. They will not package it during their Sunday service. They will not package it during some of their live services, and they will prophesy. They will claim it's prophecy that Pt2-8 is going to win. And they begin to pray for Pt2-8. Do you know that if there was no crowd that was following Pt2-8, most of all these so-called men of God that prophesied in his favor, they wouldn't have given the prophecy in his favor. They wouldn't have done it. They were prophesying from the crowd. They were prophesying from the noise, not from the voice of God, not by the Spirit of God. They were claiming it is prophecy. They were claiming it is what God said. At the end of the day, he had lost out. My voice was very, very antithetical. My voice was very, very contrary. My voice contradicted all their positive affirmations and so-called well-packaged prophecies in favor of Mr. Pt2-8. My voice was very contrary. It was my prophecy that was the only contrary prophecy. Contrary. Contradicting all their favorable declarations and so-called prophecies. And today, the election prophecies have come to pass. This was what I said on 21st of January. This screen you're watching now, this very video you're watching now, was what I said, the prophecies I gave on the 21st of January 2023. I told them that Pt2-8 will lose. I told them that Pt2-8 will be lost, will be rigged out. I told them that Pt2-8, they cannot declare him the winner. 21st of January 2023. Apart from the prophecy of June 26, 2022, apart from the prophecies of the 3rd of July 2022, apart from every other prophecy I gave last year, this particular one you're watching now was on the 21st of January, 21st of January this year, 2023. I said it, that they are going to rig him out. I said it very clearly. It was live. I said it live. It was not a doctored video. It was not a packaged video uploaded. No. During our Saturday prayer meeting with Biafran women on our Zoom platform, I said it, that they will rig him out. As at the time I gave this prophecy, the crowd that was following Pt2-8 was unbelievable, unprecedented. It was so revolutionary in nature. I looked at the crowd. I looked at the crowd. I went into the spirit and I looked at the crowd and I saw nothing. All the noise about obedience, Pt2-8, all the noise, I listened to them. I listened to them. When I come on social media, I see them there. When I come on social media, on Twitter, on YouTube, everywhere, almost all the major mainstream media platforms and televisions. They were all over the place. When I look at them and I look at them, I go back to prayer. I saw nothing. Empty noise. And today, Mr. P2B, obedient. How many of them are still obedient now? How many of them? How many?
The result is called. And P2B was declared or is declared the loser.
Mm-hmm.
And Biafrans goes back again to begin to protest for Biafra, to begin to raise flags again, to begin to sing holy, 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 Nnamdi Kanu is another savior, and begin to, go back to the trench again. They will say, look at the foolish people. Why did they come out in the first place to support P2B? Why did they come out in the first place to vote? Why did they come out in the first place? It's because they're lost. That's why they are now making noise again. They are no longer obedient. Now they are making noise because they're lost. And they will tell you, the political analyst, they will tell you that the Nigerians didn't have trust in P2B. That's why they didn't vote him in. Mm-hmm. But they will never tell you that the election was rigged.
Okay.
This analysis that P2B, they will never say it, that the election was rigged. They will be shouting that he lost. They will never that he lost. The narrative, because they control never. Anything you'll be saying from your own end, they will say, oh, it's because they're lost. On the other hand, if we support our people to go and vote, it is showing that we are not yet ready, we are not yet decided. We don't really know what we want. The sabotage of the expectation of the international community on us. Let me repeat. If we go out there, or if we make any categorical statement.
Somebody is asking a question via the comment box. I'm going to bring it to the screen. Somebody asked a question via the comment box. I believe maybe this person is joining our broadcast for the first time. Rofina Wachuku. I'm going to bring it to the screen. This person is asking a question. Is a man of God. What is God's message about the court ruling? Is God happy about the sufferings of Nigeria? I think this person is joining us for the first time. And then her second question is this. Why would God allow him to be rigged out? Is he not God of justice? This person is joining us for the first time. It was never the will of God for P2B to win the election. It was never the will of God for Biafrans to go to vote. It was never the will of God for you to queue to vote on the 25th of February 2023 during the presidential election. Just like some people have gone out today to go and vote today, the 18th day of March 2023 for governorship election, State House of Assembly election. The will of God is the release of Nnamdi Kanu and Biafra restoration. That's all. Anything you are doing contrary to this is not the will of God. I know why I decided to bring that very question to the screen is because this person is maybe joining us for the first time. Or if this person that asked this question is not joining us for the first time, maybe this very person has not been listening or following. I think is a woman that asked this question, Rufina. I think that should be a woman name. You have not been following us. You have not been following this platform. And I thank God that today you have joined us for the first time. And if you have been following up this platform, go back to the previous broadcasts. Like this very one that is displaying on the screen now. This was a prophecy I gave during our Saturday prayer meeting with our Biafran women on the 21st day of the month of January 2023. As far back as January 2023, I said it that we rig him out because he came as an alternative to Nnamdi Kanu. P2B came as an alternative to Nnamdi Kanu, the same way that Igbo presidency came as an alternative to Biafra restoration. The Bible says in the book of Psalms chapter 11 verse 3, that if the foundation be destroyed, what can the righteous do? You are asking if God is not the God of justice? God said in the book of Psalms chapter 11 verse 3, if the foundation of Nigeria is destroyed, what can the righteous do? If the foundation of Nigeria is destroyed, what can your vote do? If the foundation of Nigeria be destroyed, what can Mr. P2B do as an Igbo man, as a Biafran? Remember that this same Mr. P2B said that Biafra died 52 years ago. That was what Mr. P2B said during the election campaign. He thought that when he began to antagonize Biafra restoration, that they would give it to him, that he will become the president of Nigeria. He opened his mouth very wide and he condemned the Biafra restoration. He condemned himself. How can you condemn yourself and you want others to accept you? How can you crucify yourself? You are a Biafran in the first instance, and you open your mouth because of political ambition. You want to become the president of Nigeria. You say that Biafra died 52 years ago. That was what Mr. P2B said, that Biafra died 52 years ago. Can you just imagine that? Who are you by origin? You are a Biafran, Mr. P2B. That's who you are. You came from the former old eastern region of Nigeria, which is the land of Biafra. The map of Biafra has been in existence. Biafra has been on the map of the world as far back as the 15th century, for your information. Go back and do your research. Biafra has been on the map of the whole world as far back as the 15th century. That is over 500 years ago. Over 500 years ago. Biafra reappeared again on the map in the 18th century. Do you know how many years now? As at 1914, February 14th, 1914, during the amalgamation, Biafra was there. Biafra was recognized. Biafra was part of the amalgamated parts in the Nigeria that you see today. And Mr. P2B, because of election, political ambition, 2023 election, he wanted to become the president of Nigeria. He opened his mouth and said that Biafra died 52 years ago. You crucified yourself. You condemned yourself as a Biafran. How do you think that the foundation of the land where you came from, how do you think that God in heaven would be so happy with you? God is a God of justice. You cannot condemn yourself and you want others to accept you. Never. That can never happen. You cannot subject yourself to humiliation and you want others to regard you, to respect you. No. You cannot throw away your right into the wind and you want others to protect it for you and give it to you. No, it can't happen. I have responded to that very question. Why would God allow him to be rigged out? Is he not God of justice? God warned him never to participate in the election. He refused. Mr. P2B knew that the will of God for us is Biafra restoration. Release Nnamdi Kanu, conduct referendum, let the people decide. How can people do the same thing every time? You are expecting a change. You keep doing the same thing. You are expecting something new, something positive. You continue to repeat the same old mistakes, and you want God to all of a sudden perform a miracle out of your ignorance or self-inflicted ignorance or disobedience to his word or voice or instructions. All of a sudden, God will allow him to become the president of Nigeria. That cannot happen. You're condemned where you're coming from. You destroy the identity. In order for you to mix up, in order for you to feel along, you call yourself a slave. And how do you want others to treat you? God is the God of justice. The justice we are talking about is in the DSS dungeon in Abuja, Nigeria. Locked away. Locked up, locked away for almost 2 years. What has he done? That is the justice. Release him. Release him. We must continue. Election prophecies fulfilled part 2. You are watching the prophecies I gave during our prayer, 21st of January 2023, and they refused to listen. Our people refused to listen. Only a few.
Saying, we are not against the election. We are not against P2B. We are not against Nigerian election. Making that statement does not make you a good person.
Yes.
Making that statement either in press release or as an individual who is occupying a position in IPOB or that has something to do, that is playing a major role for the release of Nnamdi Kanu or for Biafra restoration. If you make such a statement that we are not against the election, that statement becomes a betrayal of the trust that the international community has in the process of what we're doing.
Yes.
If you are not against the election of the Nigerian state, which means you are not yet ready for your freedom. The international communities, they take into cognizance our body languages as a people. Anything we say or do, or any sign we show, they are monitoring everything we are doing, our positions, and the way we respond to matters like this. If they see that we are neutral, we are not against it, we are not supporting it, we are betraying their trust in us.
Yes.
I am saying this category. If IPOB makes a press statement tomorrow and say, oh, we are not against election in our land, we are not against anybody, and we are not supporting anybody, that statement is immature.
Yes.
It simply shows that you don't know what you want. You don't have a position. You don't have a stand. As a people that are looking for freedom, you don't support, or you are not expected to be neutral.
Yes.
In matters like election of a nation where you want to go away from.
Yes.
You must not be neutral
at all.
You must make your position
Yes.
known. Simple. That is freedom fighting. As I talk on air, now I am live on air. This is how I discuss it. Anywhere I find myself and I have the opportunity to do so. No double standard.
Yes.
No double standard.
At all.
2023 election is another jamboree that is coming. It's another useless jamboree that is coming. And we have
Oh, God in heaven. Did you hear that? Did you hear it? Did you hear what I said? Categorical. Did you hear what I just said now? Did you hear that? On the 21st of January, 2023, that was what I said. That the 2023 election is another jamboree, I want you to share this broadcast. This is why they don't want this platform to become popular. This is why they are suppressing every effort I am making, everything we are doing. They make sure that people are cut off, that people don't join, that people don't understand what we are doing, that people don't ever join us, they don't ever support us, they don't ever appreciate, they don't share, they don't like, they don't comment, they don't do anything to make sure that this very message is received very widely across the globe. Because they understand that we are not destitute of morality. We are not destitute of it. We have it in abundance. Spiritually, we are here. We don't have any, we have nothing to shy. We can never consider our position. We don't shy away from saying the truth. We say it very, very, anytime the opportunity is given to us, we say it. We don't think twice. We just vocalize it very clearly that the world may hear. As a result, they are very threatened. As I'm talking to you now, some of the agents are watching this broadcast right now. As I'm talking to you now, some of the agents of the high-profile saboteurs they are watching this broadcast right now. They are watching. They are watching. Share this broadcast. Share it. On this platform, you will always find the truth. If you come here with open-mindedness, if you are searching for the truth and you stumble upon this platform, you will find the truth. If you are a lover of the truth, if you believe in the word of the Most High God, if you believe in truth and uprightness, if you are such a person that treasures values, real values, if you are such a person that want to go for all that is pure and clean, and you stumble upon this platform, you will find it in abundance. 8 years is not 8 months. 8 years of speaking the truth is not 8 months, it's not 8 days. 8 good years. I have not changed. I will never change. Why will I change? That's what we told them. You are watching that very screen. You are watching it now. This was on the 21st of January 2023. I said it categorically, prophetically, that the 2023 presidential election is another jamboree. Is another jamboree. Let me take it back so that you hear. Share the broadcast. If you don't share the broadcast, you are hiding the truth away from people. If you share the broadcast, you are hiding the truth from people. You are stealing the truth from people. You are stealing information that is capable of liberating souls. You are stealing from them. You are preventing them from receiving the gospel of the truth. The gospel of truth. Truth. Listen.
It's like election of a nation where you want to go away from.
Listen.
You must not be neutral. You must make your position known.
Yes.
Simple. That is freedom fighting.
Yes.
As I talk on air, now I am live on air. This is how I discuss it. Anywhere I find myself and I have the opportunity to do so. No double standard. No double standard.
At all.
2023 election is another jamboree that is coming.
Yes.
It's another useless jamboree that is
Oh, Diego, amazing stuff. I told them, let me show you the date when this prophecy was given. Let me show you the date so that you will know. Not all these fake pastors everywhere. Fake man of God, fake bishop, fake archbishop, fake GO, fake Ebenile, fake, giving useless prophecies, packaged. Look at the date. It was streamed live. Look at the date on the screen. Look at it. Look at it there. It is there, showing, looking at you. Streamed live on January 21st, 2023. It was streamed live. This prophecy you are hearing now, the prophecy I gave this so-called election, which has come to pass. This is the part 2. I will continue to show you, I will continue to bring to your notice all the prophecies, the major, not even all of them. I can't even bring all of them because there's so many. I can't even be able to bring all the prophecies. What I'm doing is to pick the major ones as much as I can lay my hands on. The prophecies are so many. The prophecies I gave about the 2023 election, they are so many, very, very clear and succinct, straight to the point. You are watching one of them now. As I told you, on the 21st of January 2023, that this presidential election is another jamboree that was coming. I said it that very day. And I said, this is another useless jamboree that is coming. Today, is it not useless? Is it not useless? How many of you did? How many of you, of course, you didn't go? Because you have discovered that it is useless. I told you that the election will be useless. I said it. I told you very clearly. You heard it. You heard the voice of the Most High God through me. You heard it on this platform. You heard it. You watched the video. You heard about it. What Maxwell said. What the prophet said, you heard it. He said, it's not like that. We are praying. We are believing in Nigeria. We are believing Pt2-8 will win. Can't you see the crowd? Can't you see the mammoth crowd? When he went to Benue, when he went to Kafanchan, when he went to even Kasina, the home state of Buhari, didn't you see the crowd? Didn't you see the... I told you, forget about the crowd. You are looking at what you see with your physical eyes. I am speaking from what I see with my spiritual eyes. I am the echo chamber of the voice of God. What God says is what I echo. Anything you hear me say, and I tell you this is what God says, I am repeating what God said. I'm not the one forging it. How can I forge it? I have a lot of things to take care of in my personal life and responsibilities in the ministry. I have so many things to take care of. This very assignment was given to me by heaven, by God himself. It took me 10 years before I answered the call. God called me in 2005. I told him I will never be a pastor. I told him I can never do it. I will continue to serve you as a child of God. I will continue to do the work of God as a committed member of a church, an Assemblies of God church. I will never leave you. I will continue to serve you. But to become a pastor, I will never be a pastor. And God said that is my purpose. He said you must do it. I said I won't do it. That argument lasted for 10 good years. Most of these people that are claiming that they are pastors, let them come and tell us their encounter. Let them come and tell the story. How did they answer the call? How did they come into the ministry? How did they become the so-called GO that they are? People like us, we received the call and we refused to heed to it. People like us, we didn't treasure the call. We didn't go all out to receive the call. We didn't embrace it with open hands. People like us, we had our preferences. People like us, we said, no, we cannot be I said I cannot be a pastor. I will continue to serve God. And God said, no, that I cannot escape from it. That is my purpose, is my destiny. I must do it. I said, no, I won't do it. 10 years, I refused to answer the call. 10 good years. I was running away from it. So when you see me on your screen and you're hearing the voice of the Most High God through me, it is not a thing of pride. You know, he's so proud he's a pastor. He's happy to be a pastor. Oh, he's claiming that he's a pastor. He is claiming he's a prophet. I didn't claim nothing. I'm not claiming nothing. This is the mandate that heaven gave to me. I didn't accept it jovially or easily. It wasn't easy before I yielded to the call. It took 10 years and 10 months. 10. Some of these so-called prophets, God didn't even call them. God did no sign, no revelation. They just woke up. Maybe they saw there is profit in the ministry. Maybe they saw how some people are riding in luxurious cars, living so in opulence. They are so comfortable. They have the crowd. They have the money, the influence, the connection. They are touring all over the world, and they say, "Oh my goodness, there is good life to be a pastor. Let's become a pastor." And all of a sudden, they claim that God called them. All of a sudden, they are prophesying. All of a sudden, they are the GO. All of us. What is their pedigree? What is their pedigree? Let them bring it forward. Let them tell us their encounter, their experience. How did God call them? What are the evidences? Divine, not concocted, not out of the figment of the imaginations, that they claim that God called them. That's why they have betrayed the trust of so many people, that some people are fed up with Christianity because of their fake authors, their fake prophecies, their fake messages, because they came in to cash out from the gospel. It was God that brought me into the ministry. And I decided to run away and relocate to Lagos. And God warned me so seriously that if I relocate, if I try to run away again, that this is 10 years. This is 10 years. That if I make any attempt again to refuse to answer the call, that I should prepare for him, that he's coming. And that was how I changed my mind. And I decided to embrace the call. And this is 7 years. 7. April. God has been manifesting himself so mightily and so greatly. Once again, as I've said always, if I give you prophecy and I tell you, look at what God said, and you said no, you will not believe it, and you are doubting it, you want to scrutinize my prophecy, you want to scrutinize Maxwell, you want to investigate me to know whether I'm an authentic man of God, to know whether I'm speaking from the right author, to know whether he's genuine. Don't worry. 3 months or 6 months, highest 1 year after the prophecy is given, you by yourself will be forced to go to the dustbin where you threw away the prophecy, and you'll be searching for it, because it must surely come to pass. Except it is such a prophecy that doesn't portend anything good for our people, except it is such a message or such a prophecy that portends danger for our nation and our generation, we always go back to the altar of prayer to tell God to cancel it. We cancel it on the altar of prayer, that it will not come to pass. We must continue.
It's coming, and we have seen this.
Listen.
Like election of a nation where you want to go away from. You must not be neutral. You must make your position known. Simple. That is freedom fighting. As I talk on air, now I am live on air. This is how I discuss it. Anywhere I find myself and I have the opportunity to do so. No double standard. No double standard.
At all.
2023 election is another jamboree that is coming.
Okay.
It's another useless jamboree that is coming.
And have seen it.
And we have seen this too often that we shouldn't forget how it will play out. We already know how it's going to play out. So what is the wisdom in going into it, or standing neutral, or supporting it indirectly? No wisdom at all. We must make our position clear. Now, look at the Imo State election. Hope Uzodinma, I think he was the 4th person. He came 4th in the position. You saw how the Supreme Court installed him in Imo State. Was it by your vote?
Mm-hmm.
Was it by vote? Mm-hmm. Was it by PVC? Mm-hmm. Was it by election? Mm-hmm. He is still there.
Yes.
As the governor of Imo State. He's still there. That is what our people are going to see in this 2023 presidential election.
Have you not seen it now? As I told you on the 21st of January, that this is what you're going to see. That this is what you're going to see. What you saw in Imo State. What you saw in Imo State in the person of the governor of Imo State, from the 4th position to becoming the executive governor of Imo State, was exactly what you are going to see. I told you on the 21st of January this year, and today you have seen it. Because the mark of a prophet is that whatever he says comes to pass. Many of them told you they're obedient. Many of them told him, oh, yeah, he's Pt2-8. He's made fake prophets. Fake. Even the in-law, the brother-in-law of Mazen Americano, the one that calls himself Master Prophet. Master Prophet. He was supporting Pt2-8. It is unfortunate that such kind of people are people that came into the life of Mazen Americano. Of course, you know that honey attracts a whole lot of things, and good wine and good food, you know, when it's open, different kind of fly will like to come and perch around. It's not the fault of Mazen Americano. He didn't make the choice of the people that will come into his life. He's a public figure. Every public figure of such standard attracts different kind of people to his life. Somebody that claimed to be the in-law of Mazen Americano, the one that called himself the Master Prophet, he said that he is the Biafra spiritual leader. Someone that claimed to be the Biafra spiritual leader was also supporting Pt2-8. He endorsed Pt2-8. He was campaigning for Pt2-8. And he claimed that he is the Biafra spiritual leader. And he is the Master Prophet. Prophet. Fake. Because of money. How much? 10 million, 5 million, 3 million, 2 million, 100 million, 50 million. How much? You said your conscience. You know the truth. You sit on it. You are not comfortable. You decide to stand on top of it. You are not comfortable. You try to look for something to kill it, to kill the truth. Fake people. He was the one that is marrying the princess of Isama Faruku Ibeko. He claimed to be a prophet. He claimed to be the Biafra spiritual leader. He was supporting P2B, campaigning for him. Because when they look at the crowd, they feel that, oh my goodness, that they will give it to P2B. When they looked at the momentum from the southeast, spreading across the south, spreading into the southwest, spreading into the north, and they said, wow, P2B has won. They were looking at the crowd. People that are blind people. They don't see nothing. Only what they see is money. They see opportunity. They see anything that can put food on the table. That's what they see. And they'll now forge and package and bring up something that they call prophecy. Today, they are put to shame. I told you what you're going to see. That what happened at Imo State was exactly what you're going to see in the presidential election, and that is exactly what you have seen. Deuteronomy chapter 18 from verse 18 to 22. He said, how will you know a prophet? Watch what he said. Go and read it. Deuteronomy chapter 18 from verse 18 to 22. He said, when you are thinking of all these prophets you see on your television, you watch on your screen, social media, they're everywhere. Can I prophesy for you? Can I call your name? Can I pray? Prof Ebeni Lendia Amoma. And you are confused. You don't know who to listen to. You don't know who to believe. You don't know who to take his word so seriously. You don't know who to sow seed in his life. You don't know who to support his ministry. You are confused. Inside of you, you are searching the truth, but you don't know who is telling you the truth. And his side will help you to guide you. When a prophet give a prophecy, when a prophet say, look at what God said, look at what God said, look at what God said, watch out for that thing he said. If the thing he said didn't come to pass, know that he's not a prophet. And of course, many of them use charm. Many of them different kind of diabolical powers. Jesus said to the disciples, don't be surprised. Even the devil transformed himself as an angel of light. He transformed himself, but he's not an angel of light. He represents darkness in order to deceive. And the Bible said that the Spirit of God in us bears us witness that we are children of God. You will know a genuine man of God, a genuine prophet when you are a child of God. If you are a child of God, you are sound in the spirit. You have discernment of spirit. You will spot out. The Bible says, by their fruit you shall know them. What is the fruit? Evidence. Not 2 days evidence. No. The pedigree. You must follow the pedigree. You must go through the track record. By the fruits you shall know them. By the works they do, by the things they say, and the things they do. Not only what they say, but do they do what they say? By their fruits you shall know them. Whether in the secret or in the dark, in the open, by their fruits you shall know them. It has come to pass.
I have said it before, I want to repeat before we pray. P2B is not going anywhere in that election.
Share the broadcast. Share it. Rabanesia paradiase. Mekopananda and Sendobaya. Repaka sobiade. Sesolia. Garabatenasa. Is the voice of the Most High God through his servant. You cannot see God physically. It is through us. We are his representatives. We are the prophet. It doesn't matter how close you are to God. There are certain things that God cannot tell you directly. He must speak to you through his prophet. Your duty is to obey, not to argue. Your duty is to obey him. Rabada says Sobretia. Gabana. It is prophecy. It is prophecy, live and direct, not concoction. Share the broadcast. Share it. Share this. It is devil. It is the agent of darkness that doesn't want this platform to see the light of the day. It is the agent of darkness that can find no genuine human being, no one that is dedicated, who is in love with the truth, who is a child of God, that will ever stand against Maxwell and you cannot do it. Because you have the light of God in you. You have the light of God in you. The Spirit of God lives in you. He speaks to you. You understand when he gives you divine direction of an authentic servant of his. You are in tune with the Spirit. Share the broadcast. Share it. Don't ever procrastinate sharing the broadcast. Share it. Support the work of God. The work we are doing is you can see it. Some people think it is only to come out in the screen and prophesy. Before we come out and prophesy, before God uses us in this very level, we do a whole lot of dedication, a whole lot of sacrifices before God in prayers, living a holy life, abstaining from different things, sacrificing so many comforts. I told you that Pt2-8 is going nowhere. Listen again. Listen. We are just in the part 2. Election prophecies fulfilled part 2. That's where we are. Listen and listen good. Next week, I'm going to bring the part 3 to you. Next week, part 3 will follow.
In going into it or standing neutral or supporting it indirectly. No wisdom at all. We must make our position clear. Now, look at the Imo State election. Hope was on the map. I think he was the 4th person.
Listen carefully.
4th in the position. You saw how the Supreme Court installed him in Imo State. Was it by your vote? Was it by vote? Was it by PVC? Was it by election? He is still there as the governor of Imo State. He's still there. That is what our people are going to see in this 2023 presidential election.
Okay. Have they not seen it?
I have said it before. I want to repeat before we pray. Pt2-8 is not going anywhere in that election.
Yes.
I have said it several times and I'll repeat it. They will never favor him.
Oh my goodness, my goodness, my goodness, my goodness. Share the broadcast. As you are sharing this broadcast, tag Mr. Pt2-8, tag him. Tag all the obedient, tag them, tag them. Tag all the obedient, tag Mr. Pt2-8, tag him. Let him come and watch what they didn't want him to see. Let him come and hear the prophecy from heaven. The prophecy from heaven that they refused to allow him to watch. They refused to allow him to listen. They were pushing him to the mega churches to hear fake, arranged prophecies. They deceived him. They deceived him. Tag him. As you are sharing this very message, try and tag Mr. Pt2-8. Tag him. Tag him. Let him come and hear what God told him that they never wanted him to hear. And today he's crying. You saw him crying on a live international press conference. Press briefing. He was crying. I told him that he is going nowhere, because he came as a distraction to divine purpose. He came to derail a divine purpose. That very divine purpose is to release Nnamdi Kanu. That very divine purpose is Biafra restoration, not Igbo presidency, not 2023 presidential election. He came as an agent to derail it, to blindfold our people from seeing the goal. to blindfold the people, the very gullible people who are hungry for a better life, to deceive them into fake hope, unrealistic dream of his, of Igbo presidency. I shouted on top of my voice. It was live on air. Listen, it's prophecy. How many prophecies have you heard now? Is it one? Is it two? In a single broadcast, is catalog of prophecies. Catalog, not one or two. Prince Meme heard about it. He refused to share it. Many of them, they hear the prophecy, they can never allow it to see the light of the day, because they are fake, because they are evil, because they are cashing out as a result of betrayal. They are making so much money. They are so rich by betrayal, by subterfuge, by suppressing the truth, by fighting against those that God had chosen as his mouthpiece to communicate very clearly and effectively his mandate and his purpose to his people, to save them, to deliver them, to liberate them, to salvage them, to give them a better life. They will never tell you. They keep suppressing it. They keep suppressing it. Do you know, after our prayers on Sunday, the very first Sunday out of the 7 Sundays of powerful agreement prayers for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, do you know that they summoned me to a shrine? Do you know that? Some people don't understand the sacrifice we make. Some people don't understand that this work we do is so dangerous. Some people don't understand that if not the mandate of heaven, if not the protection of God upon our lives, if not that God is with us, if not that God sent us on different assignment, it would have gone the other way. Some people don't understand it. When we tell them the sacrifice we are making and the challenges we are facing, they don't understand it. After the prayers on Sunday, the agreement prayers we made here that was so powerful and so mighty, on the 5th, or should I say on the 12th of this month, they summoned me. I was summoned to a shrine. Where I was summoned was like the entire village, different kind of shrine, different kind of shrine. I was summoned. They were taking me from one shrine to another. From one shrine to another. I counted up to 15 different shrines. I counted up to 15 different shrines in a thick forest. In a thick forest. They summoned me. But in the end, God delivered me and gave me victory. That's why you can hear my voice now. That's why you can see me broadcasting. Because the prayers of last Sunday, the 12th of this month, it was we released different kind of dangerous, destructive weapons into the camps of the wicked, into the kingdoms of darkness. Their kingdoms were shaken to the foundation. Not just praying, not just making noise. You know, some of them, they will come to this platform and they will, after watching our prayers, after listening to our prayer points and the scriptures, they will copy it and they will go back and begin to form different groups. And they are claiming that they are praying for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They are repeating the prayers we pray on this platform. They will come here and they will copy the prayers. They will record it. After recording it, they will go and begin to fabricate their own prayer program, so that they will see them that they are praying, instead of them to join and support in what we are doing. No, they want to answer name. They want to answer name, pastor, prophet. Fake. Everybody cannot be called the same way. Everybody, we don't have the same calling, we don't have the same gift, we don't have the same mandate, the same anointing. We don't have it. We are different. Allow God to use you the way he wants. Don't tell God how to use you. You didn't create yourself. You don't know God knows your capabilities, what you can do. As I said some minutes ago, it took me 10 years to answer the call. It took me 10 years. I told God I wouldn't. He brought me into the ministry. And that's why he's using. He's using me because he knows what he has put inside of me. It's authentic. It's not fabricated. It's not formulated. It's not concocted. They will come here. They will pick prayer point. They will pick, as some of them are watching now. After watching, they will go and repackage it. And they will now go to their forum. They are praying for them. They can't hear from God directly. They cannot hear. Their ears are blocked because their motives are not pure. Their motives are not pure. They are coming from competition. Let it be that they are pastor. I'm pastor. I'm also praying for them. So that they will give them money. Ego. That's what they are looking for. Merchandise. I was summoned in that forest. I counted up to 15 different shrines, different deadly shrines, because of the prayers we offered on Sunday for Nnamdi Kanu. It was so powerful. All of you that was here, you saw what God did. You saw it, and you're going to see the manifestation. It's not just to pray. You will see the result. You will see the manifestation. And so the kingdoms of darkness were so upset with that very prayer. And they summoned me. They summoned me to shrines. 15 shrines on Monday. They summoned me. And since that very Sunday till now, I have never stepped out. I've been indoors. It's almost 7 good days I've not stepped out. It is spiritual warfare. The Bible said that anyone that is in the spiritual battle, in a battlefield, you don't entangle yourself with affairs of this world. They cannot make the sacrifice. Don't throw away my prophecy. Don't ever throw it away. If you throw it away, you are doing yourself more harm than good. You don't. Don't ever join anybody that stand or speak against Maxwell and we here. Don't ever join them, because they are speaking. They are being inspired and motivated by the agent of darkness, by demons and evil spirits in them. They don't have the Spirit of God in them. They don't have the light. They don't have it. They are darkened in their consciences. They are blind in their spiritual eyes. They can't see. They can't discern. They can't see nothing. They are blind. They are ignorant. Don't join them. And I want you, if you're a woman from Biafra land, try and join the Biafran women led by Madam Bridget Okafo. Every Saturday we pray. Every Saturday we meet, we pray. Forget about all the nonsense gossip and blackmailing and backstabbings. Forget about them. God is doing mighty things through us. It was on that platform that this prophecy came. It was on that very platform when we were praying for Nnamdi Kanu. Some of you are shocked for the first time. You didn't hear it. I will take it back a little bit. This is the part 2. Election prophecies fulfilled. Part 2. Part 2. Next week we'll come with the part 3 of it. Until we are able to give you a few number of them, and then we'll call it a day. God says comes to pass.
We must make our position clear. Now,
share the broadcast.
Look at the Imo State election.
Share this very broadcast. Is important to share it.
I think
only
it was
to
the
set you
fourth
free.
Person. He came forth in the position. You saw how the Supreme Court installed him in Imo State. Was it by your vote? Was it by vote? Was it by PVC? Was it by election? He is still there as the governor of Imo State. He's still there. That is what our people are going to see in this 2023 presidential election.
And have seen it.
I have said it before. I want to repeat before we pray. P2B is not going anywhere in that election.
Yes.
I have said it several times and I'll repeat it.
Now,
they will never favor him.
Has it happened or not? Yes. Has it happened or not? I told you he's not going in the election. Where is he now? In the court. What is he doing in the court? He said that he's challenging the process, not the outcome, that he is challenging the process. He is not challenging the outcome, which means he has considered defeat. As I told you in this prophecy now, that P2B is not going anywhere in the election. Where is he now? In Asarok? president-elect? Of course, he's not. And I told you they will not favor him. Has they favored him? Have they? Mahmoud Yakubu, the INEC chairman, did he favor Pt2-8? Did he? Have they favored him? Even with his running mate, Dati Baba Ahmed, Yusuf Dati Baba Ahmed, Obi Dati. I told you people, you have been deceived. You are too gullible. You are spiritually blind. You are spiritually blind. Open your eyes and see the light. Follow the truth and don't turn back. You said no. I told you they won't favor him. Did they favor him? The answer is no. On the 21st of January 2023. Any moment from now, this broadcast is going to end because we are having another prayer. Every Saturday we have prayer with the Biafran women. We have prayers every Saturday. It's almost 2 years. It's about 2 years, not almost. It's about 2 years. Every blessed Saturday of the week, we have prayers for Nnamdi Kanu, for you, for our nation, for our generation. If you're a Biafran woman, try and join that very group. Leave all these gossipers up and down. Leave them. Leave all these gossipers moving from one platform to another, gossiping up and down. If you're a Biafran woman, try and identify the IPOB Biafran Women Group led by Madam Bridget Okafo. It was through them. The United Nations order you are hearing today, it was through this group with Bruce Fine. The United Nations order that you are talking about today, the United Nations order that Biafrans could not achieve for 54 years after the Civil War, it was through this very group, through Bruce Fine and our prayers, that God brought it to manifestation. There we are on the physical, I was in the spiritual. Of course, we know. There we are in the physical and legal, financial, sponsoring Bruce Fine at the United Nations Working Group on Arbitrary Detention. I was in the spiritual. And it was the spiritual that destroyed the obstacles and the barriers. For the first time, the tongue of the United Nations was loosed and they spoke for the first time. 56 years after the Civil War, United Nations never said anything, either in favor of Biafra, in favor of Nnamdi Kanu. They kept mum, they kept mute. Their lips were sealed, their tongue was sealed and held bound. But it was in the course of prayers, 3 consecutive months. All these are so-called pastors and prophets. None of them joined. None of them closed their church. Our church was shut down for 3 good months. 3 consecutive months. No service. Praying and interceding. In fasting and prayers. And heaven came down. Now they want to, anytime that Nnamdi Kanu comes out now, you will see them claiming they are prophet, they are praying for him. They were the people that pray for him. God used them. They will be the first to go to Isama Faruku to take pictures with Nnamdi Kanu. The same people that were prophesying for Pt2-8, the same people that aligned themselves with the Igbo presidency, the same so-called prophet that claimed that the obedient. Immediately, man, Nnamdi Kanu is released. You will see them at Isama Faruku taking picture, snapping picture, shaking hands with him and laughing like idiots. Very wicked people that lack integrity and conscience. They don't have it. The speaker of their conscience are broken. They cannot hear the voice of the conscience anymore. If you're a Biafran woman, make sure you find this very group and join. Give them all the support they need. They are working very silently. Look at other ones jumping up from one platform to another, gossiping. We are setting records straight. You go to another platform. From there, you leave. You join another platform. You are setting records straight. Come on. Is it a cause? We must continue.
Many Nigerians are tired of the situation. They are tired of the whole corruption in the system. They need a better Nigeria. They want something new, a new government. They believe that if Pt2-8 comes to power, Nigeria will somehow change. But they are clearly mistaken. They are wrong.
Okay.
because this is not about individuals. This is about foundation. This is about how Nigeria was created to function in the first place. Because it is by so doing, by the failures of the administrations, by the corruptions in the systems, that the Britain, the British interest will be protected. So anybody that will go there to change it, if Pt2-B will go there and change it, if Pt2-B will go there and fight corruption, if Pt2-B will go there and bring about good government, which will be to the detriment of their economic interest, they cannot allow it. If they will allow it, why are they holding Nnamdi Kanu? They want a better Nigeria. Yes. They want a better future. They want democracy. What is Mazen Nnamdi Kanu fighting for? It is similar, but the difference is freedom. Is it? Freedom, that we may have a better life. You have pipe-borne water, you have electricity, you have infrastructure, you have education running, you have good medical centers or hospitals. All of this put together is what Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is fighting for, under freedom.
Yes.
Is the same thing that Nigerians are looking for, they are crying for, and Pt2-B want to give to them under democracy and politics. Are you understanding what I'm saying now? Pt2-B is not freedom, it's not total freedom, but still under the same one Nigeria. And I'm telling you that either on the side of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu freedom, or on the side of Mr. Pt2-B democracy, the British government cannot allow it, because that would jeopardize their interest. Not only British government, their allies, other allied nations who are benefiting from the corruption in the system of Nigeria. They will not allow Pt2-B to emerge. They won't do it. Now, even if they allow Pt2-B to emerge as the winner of the election, I have said this thing several times, and I'm repeating it again for record purposes. Even if by any chance, let's say that the INEC chairman that very day is drunk. Let's say that day he was very drunk, that he didn't know when he pronounced Mr. Pt2-B the winner of the presidential election. If it happens, they are going to give Mr.
Did you hear what I said here now? Which is, you know, trying to prove to you that it is practically impossible for Mr. Pt2-B to be declared the winner of the election. That's why I use, you know, this very illustration, you know, that even if the INEC chairman that very day will be drunk and he mistakenly announced Mr. Pt2-B as the winner, which I know it happened.
They are going to give Mr. Pt2-B the treatment they gave to Jonathan.
Listen.
Are you understanding what I'm saying now? Pt2-B is not freedom, it's not total freedom, but still under the same one Nigeria. And I'm telling you that either on the side of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu freedom, or on the side of Mr. Pt2-B democracy, the British government cannot allow it, because that would jeopardize their interest. Not only British government, their allies, other allied nations who are benefiting from the corruption in the system of Nigeria. They will not allow Pt2-B to emerge. They won't do it. Now, even if they allow Pt2-B to emerge as the winner of the election, I have said this thing several times, and I'm repeating it again for record purposes. Even if by any chance, let's say that the INEC chairman that very day is drunk. Let's say that day he was very drunk, that he didn't know when he pronounced Mr. Pt2-B the winner of the presidential election. If it happens, they are going to give Mr. Pt2-B the treatment they gave to Jonathan. I have said this thing before, and I'm repeating it now. And what they would do to Pt2-B will be times 10 of what they did to Jonathan. And because of what they did to Jonathan, Jonathan could not find his bearing until they kicked him out. Because of how they heated up the politics, because of how they chased him out with terrorism, because of how they chased him out with different kind of a lot. He could not achieve anything for the South. Jonathan, apart from the Otueke, Federal University Otueke in Bayelsa State, they could not allow Mr. Jonathan to achieve anything for the South. And they kicked him out. And do you know, if Nigeria is not divided, in the next 20, 30 years, they will never allow anybody from the Niger Delta to come and contest for the presidency of Nigeria. They will tell them, remember, what about your brother, Jonathan? They'll be making reference to him. And they'll be asking him, what did he achieve? Whereas they were the one that made him to fail.
Okay.
The same way, that is exactly if they allow Pt2-8 to win, if they allow him, if they mistakenly pronounce him the winner, they will give him the treatment of Dr. Goodluck Jonathan times 10 of his treatment.
Well as what they did to Ojukwu.
They are they are going to do it to Pt2-8. Pt2-8 will never achieve anything. And it will be worse. It will be worse.
Share the broadcast.
If Pt2-8 emerge as the winner of the election, it will be worse. They will make him to fail. And by the time they make him to fail, they will turn around and say, I think, look at him. Yeah, an Igbo man. They say Igbo, allow Igbo, allow Igbo. Look at him now. We have allowed them and he failed. Is this how they are going to get Biafra? Is this how they are going to get Biafra? If you also allow them to get the Biafra, look at the example now, they will fail.
So, Pastor, I have an important question. This party, the Labour Party, right?
Yes.
Was it put together by the British or not? Did the British have a hand in this Labour Party that through which Pt2-8?
No.
They had no hands.
They don't have any hand in it. They have no hands in it.
Okay.
They have no hand in it.
Okay.
The Labour Party, I think some other parties came, they joined together to, there was a little merger, even though it was not pronounced, you know, that made them to have some weight, some structures. Pt2-8 cross-carpeted from PDP, remember?
Do you see the 2003 election?
Yes.
What will come out of it is not known yet. What will come out of it? Nobody knows what will come out of it yet. This is my observation. Because you know this 2000 election, how could kidnap? Nobody knows what will come out from it. Just like I said, unu kidnap one non. Oh, okay, plan here and kidnap Uronyendu dewe bono. Medical condition and nutritional status. That was 5 days ago, right? Who knows what is going on today? Nobody knows.
But he gave an update yesterday.
Even forget all about that stupid. Listen, don't let me talk, please. Don't let me talk.
Not from a Jofo, from a Jamaica.
This place. All of them.
Okay.
All of them.
They're all the same.
Okay. Thank you. That's all.
No, or none of them. I'm sorry.
Now, let me conclude.
I'm very sorry. You know what? All right? Just like I said, we don't know who we are. We prefer to enjoy the crumbs that fall off from the table.
That is true.
Are doing it.
And that is the truth. Have they not taken crumbs from the presidential election? How much? How many million did they make? Is it going to last forever? It doesn't matter how much they have made from the election, how much they have made from the election. Some IPOB principal officers and some who we are championing the election of Mr. P2B, it doesn't matter how much they have made from the election. How many years is it going to last? How many years? As I have told you from the beginning of this very update, 8 years journey to the land of Moab. 8 years journey to the land of Moab. From the book of Ruth, chapter 1, from verse 1 to 6. As the family of Naomi traveled to the land of Moab, so that they will not die as a result of the famine, so that they will live, so that they will survive the widespread famine. How many years did they live? How many years did they enjoy the food in the land of Moab? Only 10 years. Elimelech died. Her 2 sons died. She narrowly escaped. That is how some of them that decided to embark upon this journey through their PVC and the voting, many of them are going, you will see what will happen, except Jehovah in heaven will intervene and have mercy upon them. You cannot travel to the land of Moab, abandoning the land of covenant, the covenant zone that God gave to you. Because of the challenges in the land, you abandon it and you travel to the land of Moab, and you think that the presence of God will be with you, that the presence of God will preserve you, your family. It is not possible. If you are not within the covenant zone, when God comes visiting, he won't see you there. You are outside the coverage of the covenant zone. You have compromised. You have abandoned the faith. You have alienated yourself from the covenant because of vote, because of food, because of employment, because of better life, so-called better life in quotes. You abandoned Nnamdi in the DSS dungeon in Abuja, Nigeria. You went to the post with Mr. P2B, and today you are crying. Today you are regretting. Today you are crying. Today you are disappointed. Today you are shouting. What is wrong with us? And that is why today there is a widespread voters apathy today across the length and breadth of Nigeria. Many people refuse to come out to vote today. Many of them refuse to come out and vote. Crumbs, small money, 2 million, 10 million, 50 million. And so what? Is that the end of life? Is that all that you have to benefit from life? How many years is it going? How many years is it going to last? And then the consequences will set in, which you can never ever live to tell the story, except God decides to have mercy upon you and your generation. Blood money, money of sabotage. The brothers of Joseph, they sold him for 25 pieces of silver. How many years did they enjoy that money? Go and read the book of Genesis chapter 41. Go and read it. Genesis 41, 42, 43, 45. Go and read it. There was famine, there was hunger in the land. That there was famine even in the land of Canaan. That the same brethren of Joseph, the money that they made from selling him could not sustain them throughout the time and the period of the famine. They were forced to go to the land of Egypt to buy food. Lo and behold, the same man that they sold into the hands of the Ishmaelites, transported to Egypt and sold as a slave to Potiphar, he was the prime minister. And they bowed. The same man that they killed, they said how they wanted to kill him. They betrayed him, they sold him. They say, how can we bow down before you? How can we worship you? Small boy like you, a little child like you, how can you become the one that everybody will be rallying round? And they plotted to kill him. On a second thought, they decided to sell him. Reuben suggested that they sell him, and they sold him 25 pieces of silver. 25 pieces of silver. How many years did it last? The money of betrayal and sabotage. It doesn't last for a very long time. They exhausted the 25 pieces of silver. Famine came upon the land. By this time, God has brought to fulfillment the dream of Joseph, his divine purpose in the life of Joseph. Just as God is going to bring to fulfillment his divine purpose in the life of Nnamdi Kanu. The same man that they betrayed because they didn't want to accord him, they didn't want to respect him, they didn't want to give him his due honor. They were scared of his greatness. They were bowing before Joseph in the land of Egypt, and they were calling him, my Lord, your servant. We came from the land of Canaan. Your servant. We are children of a man. He had 12 children. They were rolling on the ground in front of Joseph, and they never knew that this is the same Joseph that they betrayed. You cannot fight a divine purpose. There is nothing you will do to stop it. You cannot. Joseph's dream was fulfilled. He became the king. He became the prime minister that God predestined him to be. The destiny of Nnamdi Kanu shall be fulfilled. He will lead this very generation into a free nation called Biafra. It doesn't matter your sabotage, your betrayal. It doesn't matter. The crumbs cannot last. They traveled to the land of Moab for food security and self-preservation. Still, the food didn't last. It couldn't sustain them. They died after 10 years. I am going to bring to you what Mr. Pt2-Pst said. After that, I'm going to play one other clip, and then we bring this very broadcast to an end, because we have a prayer meeting by 4 p.m. today, barely 2 hours from now. I want you to hear what Mr. Pt2-Pst said by himself with his own mouth. He said that he's not challenging the outcome of the election. I'm going to play it from another platform, which is not my own platform. So in case there are some advertisement that display, please wait. I'm going to skip it and make sure that that thing he said, you hear it today. Some of you didn't know what Mr. Pt2-Pst said. Some of you think, he has gone to court. About 30 sons have volunteered to take up his case. About 30 sons have got. I can't understand the level of our mental depravity. I can't understand the black people. I don't know. I cannot. I try so hard to understand why it is so difficult for these people to understand, to reason. Sometimes I will liken it to spiritual or witchcraft spells cast upon them. Sometimes I will liken it to ignorance. Sometimes I will liken it to their inclination or predisposition to materialism. Sometimes I try to liken it to so many things, but at the end of the day, I'm confused them all. Why can't people reason, for goodness sake? Atiku was in the court for how many years? Challenging the victory of Muhammadu Buhari. When did they give him the judgment? When did they give Atiku the judgment? When did they give it to him? The same court. You say, he has hired 30 sons. 30 sons are going with the Pt2-Pst. Oh, he's at the appeal court. Oh, he's at the electoral tribunal. Oh, I cannot understand what is wrong with black people. I cannot. It is so difficult for me to understand it. I find myself in an impossible situation to wrap my mind around the way they reason, the way they think, their outlook, their understanding of the Nigerian election paradigm. I cannot understand it. Even the Nigerian justice system, they don't know. They don't know. They don't understand how difficult it is for them to understand that there's no hope. Pt2-Pst has gone home to rest. All he's doing now is just to try to see if he can gather more support for the Labour candidates coming up for governorship election, House of Assembly, chairmanship, councillor. That is the end of the journey. He's going nowhere. As I told you, this video you have been watching for about 1 hour 40 something minutes now. This mighty catalog of prophecies I gave to you on the 21st of January this very year. I told you in this prophecy that Mr. Pt2-Pst is going nowhere. I told you in this video, this prophecy, that they will never favor him, that they will never give it to him. Even if he wins, they won't give it to him. In this prophecy you are watching right now on this very screen, I told you in this prophecy that this 2023 election is going to be another useless jamboree, another useless jamboree, another useless jamboree. And today, that is exactly what it is. I'm going to bring Mr. Pt2-Pst to the screen right now. I'm going to bring him. Let him come and talk. Let him come and talk to the obedience. Let him come. Obedience want to hear from him. Some of them that are out of anger, they are no longer watching news. They have destroyed their PVC. Let them come and watch what their obedient, their master said, Mr. Pt2-8. Share this broadcast. Share this broadcast. Share this broadcast. In less than a few minutes from now, we are going to bring this broadcast to an end. I want you to hear what Mr. Pt2-8 said by himself. Look at the screen. You will hear from him. For those of them that are still believing that, oh, he will go to court, about 30 San, senior advocate of Nigeria, San, strong, popular, very, legal luminaries. They have gone to court. They have gone to court. They will reclaim his stolen mandate. They will reclaim his stolen mandate. Mr. Pt2-8 said that he is not challenging the outcome of the 25th February 2023 presidential election, that he is not challenging the outcome. He is not challenging it that Mr. Alhaji, what is that his name? Ahmed Tinubu is the president-elect. That is what Mr. Pt2-8 said, that he's not challenging it. What else do you want to hear? That he is only challenging the process. That is the only thing he has gone to court to challenge. Is that wise? Is there any wisdom in it? To go to court and waste time and waste resources and be causing distractions only to go and challenge the process. You are not challenging the outcome which made Ahmed Tinubu the president-elect. You don't want to challenge it. You want to go and challenge the process. When you are talking about the process, you are talking about beavers. When you are talking about the process, you are talking about the polling unit. You are talking about the transmission of the results. I can't understand how people could be so retrogressive in their thinking and their inclinations. I cannot understand it. Listen to him.
Nigeria, for their interest and participation in trying to build a new Nigeria. The journey so far has been very tough. But that is what is expected.
Now, if you can hear him, I want you to confirm to me that you can hear him. If you can hear Mr. Pt2-8, I want you to confirm. I want you, please confirm immediately that you can hear what he is saying before we continue. I want to hear from you. Can you hear him? Are you hearing him? Are you hearing Mr. Pt2-8? I am looking at the screen. I want to see your comment confirming that you can hear what Mr. Pt2-8 is saying regarding the outcome of the presidential election. We are live and direct. We are live. We are live. We are live and direct. Share the broadcast. Share it. It is the right thing to do. You can hear him. That's very good. Okay, we must continue. We must continue. This is Election Prophecies Fulfilled, Part 2. Part 2.
Difficult because you're trying to change what is there that hasn't kept us where we are. So it's going to be difficult.
Mr. Pt2-8 is saying that it is going to be difficult for you to change what that has been there. Okay. Oh. He said that it is going to be difficult for you to change what that is there. For you to change the fraud in the Nigerian system. For you to change the fraud in the electoral, the INEC. the electoral law, for you to change the bribery, the vote buying, the election rigging. That is what he just said now. That it is going to be difficult for you to change what that has been there. But he never told you from the beginning. He never told you during the campaign. He never told you when all of you were places you went to. In the DSS dungeon in Abuja, Nigeria. He never told you it was going to be difficult. He never that. He never told you. He told you that we are obedient and Nigerians, the people have spoken. You can structure. The people are the structure. Now the chicken has come home to roost. The prophecies have come to full manifestation. He wasted all your times. I kept shouting from the month of June 26th of June 2022. I kept shouting. I told you that Pt2-8 is a distraction. I told you that he's going nowhere. I told you that it's a waste of time. I prophesied and I declared the mandate of the Most High God, the counsel of heaven. I declared it so clearly to your hearing and your understanding. And you said no, that I'm being pessimistic, that I'm being negative. That because it doesn't favor me. Somebody came here, was it 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago, and was insulting me on live broadcast. He said, oh, you're using your personal interest to interpret the Bible. And I told him that he's a fool. He was a Yoruba man. Now Mr. Pt2-8 is telling you that it's not going to be easy to change what that has been there. We must continue. Let's listen to him. He's going to court to do what?
But if you look at the last election, as you know, it's probably the worst election, considering in this particular republic, considering the 2022 electoral law, which was meant to improve our overall election process.
Grammar.
And the continued and consistent promises of the chairman of INEC that this is going to be the best thing that have ever happened to Nigeria and everything. And you could see it in all the editorials, in all the international newspapers from Financial Times, The Economist, Wall Street Journal, everybody, including Chatham House.
Mr. Pt2-8 is telling you all the promises that came from different places. CNN, Wall Street Journal, New York Times, New York Times, including Chatham House in Britain, where they invited him to come and talk. And as he went and honored that invitation, they were laughing at him. He never knew. And some people were about, oh, he has gone to Chatham House. He has gone to Chatham House. He's in Chatham. My God. Oh, God. Oh. Come and deliver black people. Come and deliver black people. He has gone to Chatham House. Oh, Pt2-8, they invited him to Chatham House. Oh, Wall Street Journal carries it. Oh, the opinion poll is favoring Pt2-8. Oh, they are writing about him. Oh, Chatham House. And I told them that Chatham House can never ever change the paradigm, can never ever cause a paradigm shift. Look at the mandate of God. Listen to me. Don't refuse. Don't reject what I'm telling you. They are wasting time. They say, no, let's give it a trial. Look at Pt2-8. Look at him on the screen now, crying. That he mentioned all the major mainstream media that carried it. That this election was going to be the best. That this election was going to be the best. He promised us. He assured us. They told us. Even Chatham House. Hey! I can't understand the level of how foolish some people could be. Some people, I didn't mention anybody's name. How foolish. On the 26th of June 2022, I told Mr. Pt2-8 that he is a poor student of history when it comes to the electoral paradigm in Nigeria. And look at him today crying. Every one of you, you must continue to watch again and again my broadcast on the 26th of June 2022. Watch it over and over and over again. It's a prophecy that will never die. Not only one prophecy. There are up to 15 prophecies in that very broadcast. Up to 15 prophecies regarding this very election. Up to 15 prophetic statements I made in this very election in that broadcast. Go and watch it. Be proud that you belong to the right platform. Be proud of yourself. Be proud. Not all these gossiping platforms everywhere. They will promise you heaven and earth. All the countdown. At the end of the day, nothing to show. Gossiping, setting the record straight. Nonsense. A waste of time. Jamboree. Competition. It is a show that they are running. On this platform, it's not a show. We declare the counsel of heaven right here on this platform. Look at him crying. I must allow him to cry. Let him cry.
In all the editorials, in all the international newspapers, from Financial Times, The Economist, Wall Street Journal, everybody, including Chatham House, where even the chairman was there, he has questioned the rating of the country. And for me in particular, it's one of sadness. 63 years after Nigerian independence, we can't conduct simple election.
Have you heard it now? Have you heard Mr. Pt2-8 now? That 63 years after independence, that Nigeria cannot conduct a simple election. Am I the one talking? The answer is no. Is it Nnamdi Kanu now talking? The answer is no. Is it IPOB now talking in that Arise television? Is it not Pt2-8? He said that he's very sad. You are now sad that 63 years after independence, that 63 years after independence, that Nigeria cannot conduct a simple election. Let me take it back so that you hear him again. The Bible says in the book of Psalms chapter 11 verse 3, if the foundation be destroyed, what can the righteous do? God told you it's not election. God told you it's not about a better Nigeria, no, that this is about foundation. Go for your freedom, not election. You said no. You will get it right this time. The people have spoken. We have the structure. Making empty noise for how many months? Campaigning, wasting resources. Many people closed their account because of Pt2-8. Many people donated their widow's mite. But if they tell them to donate to the work of God for this platform, for Maxwell and we here to continue with the gospel, they will never give a farthing. They will never give kobo. They will never do it. Even many IPOB, even many people that claim that they supported Nnamdi Kanu, they donated their money to sponsor Pt2-8. Waste. Colossal loss. Colossal loss. The loss is so colossal. It was so huge. 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 It is calamitous. All the jamboree have collapsed. 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 Some people were even thinking that because of Nnamdi Kanu in the DSS dungeon, that they will give it to Pt2-8 so that they will use it to silence the Biafra restoration. And I told them it's a lie. You don't know the people you are dealing with. They said, no, because of Nnamdi Kanu in the DSS dungeon, they will give it to Igbo man so that Biafra agitation will die. I told them it's a lie. They will never do it. Because you don't understand the people that are holding you down. You don't understand it. You don't. Ordinarily, they're supposed to give it to Mr. P2B so that the Igbos will come down in Nigeria. Ordinarily, they were supposed to give, they are supposed, in a common way, common sense, suggest that they should give it to P2B so that Igbos will now see the Igbo presidency as a better alternative to the agitation for Biafra restoration. And if they had done it, they would have succeeded in killing the agitation. Because it's very simple now. Black people, they easily forget. And I told them that it will never happen. That these people can never give you any breathing space. They can never give you even a minute. They can never give it to you. Now, Mr. P2B is regretting that after 63 years of independence of Nigeria, that Nigeria cannot even conduct a simple election. Look at his finger there. Look at this, my finger. That's what he's saying. Let me bring it back so that you can hear him. Support the work of God. We are the people that God sent to deliver you, to save you. Don't allow our hands to grow weary. If our hands grow weary, you are going to lose. Listen to him again. Listen to him. And listen.
Was there. He has questioned the rating of the country. And for me in particular, it's one of sadness. Nigerian independence, we can't conduct simple election.
Okay.
Talk less of any other.
Okay. Take it back. For the of them that went to vote again today, who don't want to listen. A stubborn fly will always follow a dead body into the grave. They still went because they're angry because of the rigging during the presidential election. Some of them, they still went again today to vote.
And for me in particular, it's one of sadness. 63.
And for him in particular, it is of sadness. He is very sad. For him in particular. Take it back.
Improve our overall election process and continued and consistent promises of the chairman of INEC that this is going to be the best thing that has ever happened to Nigeria and everything. And you could see it in all the editorials, in all the international newspapers from financial.
It is a shame. A whole Mr. P2B was looking at the editorials to base his judgment of the outcome of the presidential election. A whole Mr. P2B was basing his judgment on the editorials, on the newspaper, on the mainstream media. Both the ones in Nigeria and in the diaspora in America, the Wall Street Journal, the Financial Times, the Economist, Chatham House. Hi! It's unfortunate. It's very, very unfortunate. Nobody will save us, only Nnamdi Kanu, because he is the one that has the mandate of God to save us as a people, as a race.
Times, The Economist, Wall Street Journal, everybody,
look at him,
including Chatham House, where even the chairman was there. He has questioned the rating of the country. And for me in particular, it's one of sadness. 63 years after Nigerian independence, we can't conduct simple election. Talk less of any other, just election. Despite all the promises. And it's not as if we're too big or through this. The world's biggest democracy, India today have about 900 registered voters. In their last election, 67% participated, over 600 million. Which, if we look at our 24 million, that's 25 times our size.
Analysis.
Yet the infractions were less than 5%.
Continue to analyze.
In our own,
analyze.
However,
after analyzing, you go back to Oka in Anambra State. I'm at the side of Bushi. After talking on radio, on television, blah blue, blah blah, whatever they call that very, that very statement, is your president-elect, and you will call him your excellency. Today there is Muslim ticket in Nigeria. Today Muslim president, Muslim vice. You know why it has happened? Because you refuse to listen. Because you refuse to listen. Because you refuse to listen. Because you allowed Nnamdi Kanu to remain in the DSS dungeon in Abuja, Nigeria. You think you were doing yourself good. Oh, if you people allow Nnamdi Kanu now, Igbo man will not become president. If they don't arrest him, if they don't detain him. It's a good thing. Keep him in the DSS dungeon so that Pt2-8 will become the president. Lock him there. Don't ever allow Nnamdi Kanu to come out. Oh. If Nnamdi Kanu come out, he is going to ruin the chances of Mr. Pt2-8 from becoming the president. He's going to ruin the Igbo chances of becoming the president. Lock him there in the DSS dungeon. Kill him, destroy him, so that Pt2-8 will win. Hi! Abomination. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. And Nnamdi Kanu has been locked up almost 2 years. You have conducted your so-called election, which is a journey to the land of Moab. 8 years journey. With all the crowd and all the media frenzy. Look at Mr. Pt2-8 now. Instead of becoming the president-elect, he is now complaining and crying. Look at him on the screen. Look at him on the screen. For whom you sacrifice the liberty and the freedom and the right of Nnamdi Kanu. He was almost killed because of Igbo presidency. Look at him. Pathetic.
My appeal to Nigerians is to remain to my obedient family. Come. Remain for our country, Nigeria. We have no other country except this one. And we will go through all legal, peaceful means to bring a new Nigeria.
All legal, peaceful means to bring a new Nigeria. Look at deception. How old is Mr. Pt2-8? He is still deceiving the people. How old is Mr. Pt2-8? He is still deceiving the so-called obedience. By assuring them that they will go through all the legal means, all the legal process to bring a better Nigeria. It is only a fool that will listen to this junk. It's only a fool that will continue to follow this road that leads to destruction and disaster. It's only a fool. He has been rigged him out. Want to follow a peaceful means, a legal means for a better Nigeria. What a deception.
Everybody will be happy and proud to say, I'm a Nigerian.
You are dreaming.
All right, I'm glad you talk about to remain prayerful and to remain calm. And the reason I say this is that some prominent Nigerians, church leaders, traditional rulers, and high net worth stakeholders are saying that though there are several infractions, the outcome of the election is the way God wants it, and it should be allowed. So on one hand, you are saying, remain prayerful and calm, but we'll still go to court. Others are saying, for the peace of Nigeria, remain prayerful, calm, and accept this as God's will.
How can they say that this is the will of God? When Pastor Chris Oyekeleme said that Pt2-8 will be the one that will win the election, that will become your president, because his name is in the Bible. You remember the clip I played here? You remember when the man of God, Pastor Chris Oyekeleme, PhD, a great anointed man of God that I respect so much, gave you a prophecy. Talked about the first candidate. Have you forgotten that the Spirit of God called the first candidate a jackal? And the Spirit of God said that the jackal has been cut off. Right? You remember? He talked about the second candidate. He said that if you elect him, you will not have a country. That was what the Spirit of God said, right? And he said, but the third candidate, that his name is in the Bible, that the name of the third candidate is in the Bible. Among the three major candidates, Ahmed Tinubu, Atiku Abubakar, Pt2-8, which one does his name appear in the Bible? Is there any Atiku Abubakar in the Bible? The answer is no. Is there any name like Bola Ahmed Tinubu in the Bible? The answer is no. Is there any Peter Gregory in the Bible? The answer is yes. Pastor Chris Oyekulome told you that the third candidate that the name is in the Bible will be the one. Today, look at him. Because you don't want to listen to the authentic prophecy. You don't want to listen. You don't want to listen. Because truth is bitter. Why not swallow the bitter pill that you may be healed, that you may be whole, that you may be made whole, that you will enjoy the life that God has predestined for you? You don't want to listen. It's a prayer. Dunamis, Dr. Paul Enenche prayed for you. So that prayer didn't work. Reverend Dr. Mobai prayed for him and prophesied. So the prayer didn't work. Apostle Johnson Suleiman prayed for you. So that prayer didn't work. It's not enough. Bishop David Oyedepo prayed. Oh, the prayer is not enough. We should continue to pray. Anybody that after this presidential election is still talking about one Nigeria, that very person is an agent of darkness. Any pastor, any man of God, any man of God, any bishop of any cathedral, of any church, that after this presidential election, he's still telling you to pray for Nigeria. He's still telling you that there is still hope, that we are one Nigeria. Such a person is an agent of darkness. It's not a child of God. It's not a man of God. It's not. It's not a man of God. It's not a child of God.
What do you have to say to that?
Well, I'm very respectful to prominent Nigerians, especially church leaders, traditional rulers, and all that. And other men should be respected for what they represent in our society, but I disagree with them. What they're actually preaching is the problem of Nigeria. Okay. The problem of Nigeria is accepting wrongdoing, accepting what is unacceptable. That is using God's name in vain. That's not what God said. God said, do not use my name in vain. So what they're saying is not God's wish. It is not God's plan for Nigeria. So why don't we accept that the 133 million Nigerians who are poor is God's wish? Why don't we accept that 95 million Nigerians living in absolute poverty is God's wish? It is God's wish that you don't have electricity. It is God's wish that our children are kidnapped. It is God's wish that we have collapsed primary health care, leading us to be the country with the highest infant mortality. It is everything happening is God's way. Not what God says. No. God's wish is when you do the right thing. And in the end, it is not. This election was predicated and planned. And we have clear laws about the conduct of the election. If it was followed, if these results were uploaded from the booth, polling units, like they said, to the server and everything, we won't be here, we won't be talking about it. It would have been concluded in a matter of hours without anybody arguing about it. But it is not God's wish that you do the wrong thing. It is not God's wish that you go and rob a train and make money and start sharing it. It is not God's. This is what is killing the country. People come here, take public money, and then go and give it to people in the church and they say it's God's wish. And start giving them title in the church, title in this. That is what we're fighting. That's what we want to stop. We want God's wish to be truly God's wish. And that is when we do the right things and God gives his blessing. What we are doing now is why they come. What do you tell the young ones growing up? That is God's wish that you steal? That is God's wish that you conduct a wrong election? So tell me the difference between those of us who are doing this and the armed robbers. What is the difference between us and the trained robbers? Let's be sincere with ourselves. That's why it's God's wish that somebody came to your station and said he knows a governor who have 22 billion naira stacked, and nobody's asking about him. But we are stopping young people who are carrying computer and questioning them and calling them names. That's not God's wish. God wishes us something better. What I want is God to allow us to do the right things so we can start building a better country for our children.
All right. So there are several, messaging and news going on around that INEC is not allowing your legal team to inspect the materials used, for the election. What's going to be your next action as regards this?
Okay.
Well, INEC is a public institution sustained by taxpayers' money, including you and me. And I believe there's a law about public institutions. If there's anything, they should be open because they conducted the election. Is that everywhere? If you do something and people are not satisfied, it's for you to open up yourself. Mm-hmm. It's not the first time I'm going to court with INEC. And since 2003, I've actually, I would say several times, I've had to challenge INEC result. Remember that I'm the first governor in this country to come through the process of court by being in court for 3 years. Throughout the 3 years, I was in court with INEC giving me access to whatever materials they used to conduct the election.
So if he was in court during the governorship election, during his own time in Anambra State, he was in court with INEC to be allowed access to the materials for the election, to inspect the materials for the election. That was for governorship. How many years do you think that he's going to be in court with INEC this time around, now that it has to do with presidential? How many years now that he's going to be in court, INEC, dragging about the presidential election? Remember, he said that he's not challenging outcome, but he's challenging the process, only to challenge the process.
Conducted the election, Rufai, you've announced or declared the winner. I'm only asking, can I have access to the documents and materials you used to arrive at that? I'm not asking you to change what you said. And remember, like I always say, people, I'm not challenging their declaration.
Listen.
Sorry, I'm not challenging who they declared.
Now.
I'm not challenging whatever the outcome.
Okay.
I'm challenging the process, which they arrived at their declaration.
Are you hearing?
Unless we do that.
Listen. For those people that say, oh, he has gone to court. He has gone to court. 30 sons are in him. He has gone to court. Listen to what he went to court to do. It's not to become your president, though. Mr. Pt2-8 has not gone to court. Mr. Pt2-8 did not go to court in order to reclaim his stolen mandate. Share this broadcast. Those of you that are here live on air, share the broadcast. Share it. If you are watching on Twitter, retweet the broadcast. It is the good thing, the right thing to do. Mr. Pt2-8 is not going to court to challenge the outcome of the presidential election. He did not go to court in order to challenge and say, no, I am the person that the people voted. I am the one that won the election. Look at my evidence. Look at my evidence. The wrong person was declared as the president-elect, supposed to be declared as the president-elect with so-so and so-so evidence. That is not what Mr. Pt2-8 has got to do. He did not go to court to challenge the outcome of the election that produced Ahmed Bola Tinubu as the president-elect. He is not challenging the announcement of Ahmed Bola Tinubu as the president-elect by the INEC chairman, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu. He went to court to challenge how Bola Ahmed Tinubu was pronounced as president-elect. The process of the election, which is so ambiguous. Challenging the process of the election is so ambiguous. You are not specific. What is the process you are talking about? You are talking about the beaver machines. You're talking about the card readers, or you're talking about the REVs, or whatever you call those machines. Or you're talking about the transmission of the election result from the polling unit to the server. Or what process are you talking about here? So for those of you that think that Mr. Pt2-8 is going to reclaim his mandate, he is not going to contest the outcome of the election. Can you listen? Can't you listen to him? What the court process is all about? Up to now, some people are saying, oh, he has gone to court. He will win. He will win. The same way he won when he was in Anambra and became the governor. Mr. Pt2-8 is not going to challenge the outcome of the election. He's not going to challenge Ahmed Tinubu as the president-elect. He's not going to challenge it. What he is going to challenge is the process, not who became the president-elect, not who was announced as the president-elect, not who was given the certificate of return, which is Ahmed Bola Tinubu. Mr. Pt2-8 is not going to challenge Ahmed Bola Tinubu as the president-elect, to restore the mandate from him, to take the mandate from him. No, he is going to court to challenge the process, not the outcome. The outcome is that Bola Ahmed Tinubu is the president-elect. That is the outcome. Mr. Pt2-8 is not going to court to challenge it. He is going to court to challenge how he was pronounced as the president-elect. Case closed. That is the end of the obedient movement. Jamboree. As I told you in the prophecy I shared with you here, that is going to end is useless, is a useless jamboree. And that is exactly what it is today. Very soon we are going to close. Share the broadcast.
Unless we do that,
Listen.
Unless we do that,
Listen to him.
we're not going to stop the rascality we witnessed in that election. The process through which people come into office, if for me as
Listen.
at their declaration, and unless we
Listen
do
to
that,
him. Oh.
you've conducted the election, Rufai, you've announced or declared the winner. I'm only asking, can I have access to the documents and materials you used to arrive at that? I'm not asking you to change what you said.
Did you hear that? He is not asking INEC to change what they said about Ahmed Tinubu as the. Did you hear that now? The obedient are disgraced. The obedient, all the people that ever supported Pt2-8, they are all put to shame. All the people that abandoned Nnamdi Kanu in the DSS dungeon in Abuja, Nigeria, because of Pt2-8, that believe that Igbo man will be, that believe that, oh, he's Pt2-8, they will give it. They are all of them have buried their faces in shame. Come out and protest now. Come out. Let them pick you up one after the other. Come out and protest. Come out and challenge the so-called president-elect. Come out and protest now. Come. Come and protest. Even in Anambra State. Come and protest for Pt2-8 to reclaim his stolen mandate. And he will reclaim it in court. Mr. Pt2-8 is telling you today, I am not going to challenge Ahmed Tinubu. I'm not going to court to challenge him. In other words, I have accepted defeat. I have accepted defeat. Shame on all of you that were shouting for Igbo presidency. Shame on all of you. All of you that attacked me. All of you that called me names. All of you that attacked me so viciously. Shame on all of you because I stood for the truth. You attacked me. You kept on attacking me. Shame on all of you.
Says to whatever materials they used to. If you do something and people are not satisfied, it's for you to open up yourself.
Listen.
This is not the first time I'm going to court with INEC. Since 2003, I've actually, I would say, several times I've had to challenge INEC result. Remember that I'm the first governor in this country to come through the process of court by being in court for 3 years. Throughout the 3 years, I was in court with INEC giving me access to whatever materials they used.
Listen very carefully.
To conduct the election. You've conducted the election, Rufai. You've announced or declared the winner. I'm only asking, can I have access to the documents and materials you used to arrive at that? I'm not asking you to change what you said. And remember, like I also say, people, I'm not challenging their declaration.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm not challenging who they declared.
Did you hear that? Shame on them. He said that he is not challenging Ahmed Tinubu. Let him go and challenge him now. Remember that the CJN, the Chief Justice of Nigeria, is a Yoruba man. Do you remember? Do you remember that? It's well planned. Obedient. Obi. Look at the mockery. Look at the mockery. Mockery. Everything is play. Everything you turn it to play. Entertainment. That's why lives are so miserable. Is that what you went to the poll to do? To sing about Obi? Is that what you went to the poll to do? Obinem kelerenke. Hi! Chineke binegwe. Upon all the whole thing, Baramed told you that it is a Melokon, and today they have given it to him. You said that Biafra died 52 years ago. But 63 years ago till now, according to you, Mr. P2B, Nigeria cannot conduct a simple election. So you said. The same you opened your mouth and said that Biafra died 52 years ago. So Biafra and Nigeria that cannot conduct a simple election, who is better? Ahmed Tinubu is the president-elect. Muslim. Vice, Muslim. President-elect, Muslim. Go and challenge him now because people are standing by you. They say they will go with you all the way. They are obedient. Go and challenge him and restore the stolen mandate now. You are scared. You say you will not challenge him. But that is when you begin to talk. When the name cannot come out, you want to come and challenge him. When you cannot come out and talk, you want to challenge him. You want to tear him to pieces. You want to destroy him. You want to kill him. But your mandate has been stolen from you. You don't want to challenge it. You don't want to, I'm a peaceful Nigerian. All of you that hate Nnamdi Kanu, all of you that don't want to be restored, look at it. He said he's not going to challenge who they declared.
Or declared the winner. I'm only asking, can I have access to in court with INEC giving me access to whatever materials they used to conduct the election? You've conducted the election, Rufai. You've announced or declared the winner. I'm only asking, can I have access to the documents and materials you used to arrive at that? I'm not asking you to change what you said. And remember, like I also say, people, I'm not challenging their declaration.
Did you hear that?
Sorry, I'm not challenging who they declared. I'm not challenging whatever the outcome. I'm challenging the process which they arrived at their declaration. And unless we do that, we're not going to stop the rascality we witnessed in that election. The process through which people come into office, is, for me, I said it everywhere, is far more fundamental than what they do thereafter. There's a process of doing things. There's a process of arriving at any destination. If, like I said in my press conference, if you're going to answer His Excellency,
it's enough. You have had it. You have heard from him. You have heard from Mr. Pt2-8 that he is not challenging the outcome of the presidential election, that he is challenging the process. Grammar. We have defeated them. We stand for the truth. We don't shake. We don't change our position. It doesn't matter how they hate us. It does not matter. I want you to listen to one of the international observers, the National Press Club. Listen, and you will understand. And then we're going to bring this very broadcast to an end. I want you to listen to him.
INEC has to prove itself. It has to prove the results it announced were true and were real. There are 176,600 polling stations. That's a lot of polling stations. INEC's rules require.
If you can hear this very clip, I want you to confirm to me that you can hear it. If you can hear this the white man is talking. White man who is talking is on the screen. If you can hear this very clip that is displayed on the screen, I want you to confirm to me immediately that you can hear it. These I like to listen to. White people. We are blacks, okay? If you can hear this very video that is on the screen right now, I want you to confirm that you can hear it. Thank you very much. This is the international observer. Oh, there will be international observer. International observer, they have arrived Nigeria. They have arrived Nigeria. Oh, they are in Nigeria. Oh. Look at the intake that the election was rigged.
INEC has to prove itself. It has to prove the results announced were true and were real. There are 176,600 polling stations. That's a lot of polling stations. INEC's rules require each polling station to collect the votes, count the votes, and they do it the old-fashioned way. They get the paper votes, they count them, they put them in stacks for each of the primary candidates. They were to gather those results, publish the local results, and then transmit the results, and ultimately they would go to Abuja and be certified. Well, what happened was they published some of the results early on, and then they took them down. And so what they have is something that looks a little bit.
He said that they published some of the results earlier on, and then later took down the results that they published. Do you now understand it? They told you, your PVC is your voice, your PVC is your power. Go and vote. It is your civic responsibility. Don't allow them to disenfranchise you. Oh, why are you talking about sit at home? Allow them to go and vote. Their PVC is their power. From June 2022, I kept shouting that it is a lie. Today, you have known that it is true. Your voting doesn't count. Do you know that if you don't go to the poll to go and vote, they cannot rig it? There is no way they are going to rig when the people refuse to come out to vote. It is when you come out to vote, you now give them the impetus to rig the election. If you don't come out to vote, the election will be cancelled. It will be postponed. They will continue to postpone it. And when the international community covered that Nigerians refuse to vote, what are they asking for? Referendum. What are they asking for? Before want to go their separate ways, they will now begin to look into the referendum. But when you come out to vote, you give them the right to rig the election. And when they rig the election, anything that is the outcome of the election, you are going to bear the consequences. Because you came out to help them to rig the election. They took it down. After uploading the vote, they now took it down. Listen.
Like this, scribbling,
listen,
and be certified. Well, what happened was they published some of the results early on, and then they took them down. And so what they have is something that looks a little bit like this, scribbling, when it used to look like this, where it was written. Someone didn't like the results. That's what appears to have happened. Dr. Ogebe.
Someone didn't like the result that was initially uploaded because it favored P2-B. So they have to take it down because they don't want him.
Observed it happening. So what we have is vote rigging, vote buying.
Did you hear that? What the international observer is saying now is that he is speaking on behalf of the international observer. So it's not only this man that came as an international. He is speaking on the behalf. This is the National Press Club. This is a press conference. According to the international observers, what they saw in the just concluded presidential and national assembly election was vote buying and rigging, election rigging. Listen.
Vote buying.
Listen and listen good.
That's what appears to have happened. Dr. Ogebe observed it happening. So what we have is vote rigging, vote buying.
What they saw, the international observers, what they saw was vote rigging, vote buying, which now produced your president-elect. And Mr. P2-B said, no, I'm not going to challenge it. I cannot challenge it. But you will challenge Nnamdi, you will challenge IPOB, you will challenge Biafrans.
And bribery.
Vote rigging, vote buying, and bribery. Where is the PVC? Where is it now? The PVC. As I told you, that without Nnamdi, your PVC is useless.
Ogebe observed it happening. So what we have is vote rigging, vote buying, and bribery.
That was the presidential election. Vote rigging, vote and bribery.
So despite INEC's efforts, nothing good happened. And we're back to the...
Did you hear that? That despite INEC's efforts, nothing good happened. Did you hear that now? Nothing good happened. Nothing good. All the three, useless. And this is the part 3 of it that failed.
Same old thing, the old effort.
The same old thing. Listen.
So despite INEC's efforts, nothing good happened.
Nothing good
And
happened.
we're back to the same old thing, the same old efforts. So what do we do? What do we do in the United States? What do we do as members of the diaspora?
What he's asking them, what are we going to do in the United States? Members of the diaspora. What are you going to do? Give a referendum. That's what you should do. Stop any other process. It's worse. It is worthless.
What do we do in the United States? What do we do as members of the diaspora? What do we do as international attorneys or international law folks? What do we do to ensure democracy can thrive? That the promise of 1960 can become true again, hopefully. Well, we are asking that INEC throw open the curtains and let the full light of truth come in.
He said that INEC should throw open the curtains. Open the curtains so that the light of truth will come in. Medicine after death. When there is a president-elect, which light of truth they will allow to come in? Yeah.
to prove the transparency and the veracity of the results they've announced. If the results are true, they should be able to prove it. It is absolutely not extraordinary to ask them to prove it. Show me your math. We've all gone to school. Show me your math. You've got a number. Show me how you got to that number. Prove what you did. There can be no debate that the initial investigations indicate that they were savage. The rules were savage. The rights of the electorate were savage. It was polluted by blatant and widespread corruption. There's Dr.
It was polluted by blatant, widespread corruption. Did you hear that in the election? All right. Man, how can you say sit at home? How can you say we shouldn't vote? Our right, our privacy, and the diaspora that commanded people not to. You come back from the diaspora. Come on, God in heaven, may God help these souls.
Lloyd said the four horsemen of democracy's doom: bribery, intimidation, insecurity, and vote rigging, appeared to trot and run roughshod all over the nation.
They are saying that this happened all over the nation. Corruption, vote rigging, the nation, not only in Abuja, not only in Lagos, not only all over the nation. That is international election observers telling you what happened on the 25th of February during the presidential election.
Harsh to see the results. We, NIDACO, call upon the people of Nigeria to act peacefully, but to demand that proof be provided to them, that INEC prove the results they've announced.
Medicine after that. To act in peace, peaceful. What else are they going to tell you? Are they going to tell you to fight? They will not tell you that, but your destiny is in your hands. Your right, your future is in the DSS dungeon in Abuja, Nigeria, as I've said several times. And with that, we are bringing this very broadcast to an end today. Because in the next 30 minutes, I am having another program with our Biafran women, our prayer, our Saturday prayer for Nnamdi Kanu. In the next 30 minutes, that very prayer is going to be on. Remember tomorrow. Tomorrow is our prayers for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, our agreement prayers for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. You cannot miss it tomorrow. I want you to make sure that you don't miss tomorrow's agreement prayer for Nnamdi Kanu. Don't miss it for any reason. For any reason, don't ever miss this very program tomorrow. Anything that will make you to miss this very program, I want you to miss that thing tomorrow. Our 7 Sundays of powerful agreement prayers for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Anything that will make you to miss, you see this very program, you see it, I am bringing it very close to you that you may see. Anything that will make you to miss it of God, I'm telling you now. You know, I always tell you the truth. I always tell you the truth, the way it is. I will never deceive you. There is no profit or benefit in deception, and I can't do that. 7 Sundays of powerful agreement prayer for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Last Sunday was so powerful. Last Sunday was so powerful. Last Sunday was so powerful. I told you, after that prayers on Sunday, on Monday, they summoned me to about 15 shrines. To about 15 shrines, I was summoned. And I overcame them. Almost 7 days, I have never stepped out. I have been indoors. Don't miss this program tomorrow. Don't miss it. I am going to give you the scripture. Look at the scripture we are using for tomorrow's prayer. Look at the scripture there. Matthew chapter 18, verse 18 to 19. Hosea chapter 13, verse 14. Deuteronomy chapter 33, verse 6. Don't miss this prayer tomorrow. Don't miss it. Tomorrow, the 9th of March 2023, will be the second Sunday of this agreement prayers for Mazen and Kanu. Wherever you are, whether you are in the diaspora, whether you're in Bethlehem, it doesn't matter where you are, tomorrow, the time is 8:30 p.m. 8:30 p.m. We will gather on this platform and we are going to storm heaven with prayers. We are going to storm heaven. The kingdoms of darkness are going to shake tomorrow once again. The fasting and prayer is from 6 a.m. to 12 noon in the afternoon. Tomorrow, the fasting and prayer from 6 o'clock in to 12 noon. If you can fast until 6 p.m., if you can fast until 6 p.m., that will be fine. But at least 12 noon. Anything above 12 noon is fine. It's okay. Fasting and prayer 6 o'clock in the morning until 12 noon, or as your strength can carry. Above 12 noon, that is welcome. Tomorrow, Sunday, 19th of March 2023. There will be live broadcast on this platform by 8:30 p.m. according to our own time. 8:30 p.m. Biafran time. We are going to be praying here on this platform until we witness that very confirmation that our prayers are answered. Support the work of God. Don't ever allow anybody to distract you or to make you feel discouraged from supporting the work of God. The work we are doing cannot be possible or successful without financial input. It is not possible. A lot of things are involved which you know. A lot of things are involved which you know. A lot of people are involved as well. And I want to bring this broadcast to an end. See you tomorrow by the special grace of God. Yes, the prayer displaying on the screen is the prayer to pray tomorrow. It's an agreement prayer. It's an agreement prayer. In agreement, we stand in the gap, and by the blood of Yeshua, we annul every death declaration or pronouncements that Mazen Kanu has made against himself, directly or indirectly. That is the prayer point for tomorrow. That is the agreement prayer tomorrow. You can take a screenshot of this very screen right now. If you don't have the flyer is on my Facebook page, it's on my Facebook profile. This very flyer, the flyer for the program tomorrow, is on my Twitter handle. It is there. In case you have not seen, this is the flyer. The prayer point for tomorrow is there on the flyer, as you can see it on the screen now. The prayer for tomorrow, look at it. This is prayer number 2. In agreement, we stand in the gap, and by the blood of Yeshua, we annul. In other words, we revoke, we cancel, make null and void every death declaration or pronouncement that Mazen Kanu has made against himself, directly or indirectly. That is our agreement prayer tomorrow. We are going to cancel, we are going to annul, we are going to make null and void every death declaration or pronouncement that Mazen Namdekano has made against himself, directly or indirectly. The scriptures that are backing us up in this agreement prayer is the book of Matthew, chapter 18, verse 18 to 19, Hosea, chapter 13, verse 14, Deuteronomy, chapter 33, verse 6. You know that several times, Mazen Namdekano said that it's better for him to die for Biafra to be restored. He has said it several times, and they are using it as a spiritual background, as a legal ground against him in the spiritual. And God says that we must pray to cancel it. We will stand in the gap. We will revoke it. We will cancel it, and that he is going to honor our prayers. So that is the agreement prayer tomorrow.